with all your colleagues and participants.
Good afternoon. Special thanks for joining after lunch to this next panel of Comparing Challenges in Pharma. So I have the pleasure to have 4 experts on the subject with me this afternoon. On my left hand we have Xavier Sueuras. He is Grifols Information Technology Senior Vice President. Xavier is the IT Global responsible, helping Grifols to achieve its strategic goals and leading digital innovation initiatives. And Grifols is the leading pharmaceutical company specialized in essential plasma derived medicines as probably. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, Xavier. Together we have aside of team Rosa Maria Lopez Carneros. Welcome. Rosa Maria is Business Operations Head at Boeing Inochem. She's leading operations at this company, and Boeing Inochem is a leading research-driven biopharmaceutical company working on breakthrough therapies to transform lives, as probably you also know. Thank you for being this afternoon with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Near we have Celia Rosalén.
Hi.
Welcome, Celia. Celia is Business Development Europe at Medictor. She is responsible for development of Medictor at European markets. Medictor is the most accurate AI-based medical assistant for triage and pre-diagnosis. And we also have Philip Heitbrink, co-founder of CEO and C-Life. C-Life is a startup helping life science companies manage their quality processes and instill quality culture throughout the whole organization. Thank you, Philip. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So we have been talking a lot about transformation in the sector and digital transformation. I think a first interesting point is understanding how those companies are managing or are working with digital transformation in their sector. So I would like if you can start giving us some hints about how you manage digital transformation, and especially digital transformation thinking in digital health in your company. So Xavier, do you want to start, please?
Well, I mean, the way we are approaching digital transformation is more thinking on digital innovation. And we are, in fact, working on quite a number of initiatives, but we want to achieve some goals, no? And we decide to work these different initiatives in different areas of focus or different goals, no? And the first one was to see how can we add value or improve the experience of our patients, of our customers, our donors. I mean, in our case, probably you know, donors is a key people for our business, and of course also our employees. No, so this is one of the main focus: how to add value, improve value, increase value, and increase experience. Then another area of focus is how can we optimize our operations, so find efficiencies and try to, let's say, improve our core business. And then also the other big area that we are putting focus on is data. How can we extract data from our value from our data, focusing basically in our scientific or in our R&D space, trying to find new therapies or improve our products or improve our services, and even trying to change the way we go to the market. No? So I would say that these are the 3 main areas of focus that we have the objectives to try to find ways or find opportunities coming from the technology to add value to the company, and at the end also to the patients. That is the final goal. No? In terms of technologies, I would say that we are also touching a lot of different digital solutions. So we are working in initiatives related with, virtual reality, augmented reality. We are working on robotics, RPA. We are working on advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. We are even some some few initiatives, but some of them already in production and adding value to the company with blockchain. So I mean, we are quite active in all these new, let's say, technologies and exploring and I mean, not only exploring at the end is how this can get into the company and have real impact in the company to leverage outcomes for the patients and for the industry. No?
Thanks. Impressive, Xavier. What about Boring Ingelheim, Rosa Maria?
Well, digital transformation is an essential part of our contemporary business. It's something that we have been involved in a digital transformation for the last 10 years, more or less. It's something that never stops. If I have to remark some key initiatives, we are working in the channel ecosystem, how to improve our customer and patients engagement model, how to bring data and insights, as Xavier explained before, as a crucial part of our taking decisions. But one of the mostly important part of this digital transformation is about our employees. Well, for us, one of our big learnings during this 10 years is you can have a big digital transformation plan with a lot of elements between technology, channels, customer, but what's about the voice of employees, and what about your change management plan in order to bring this new innovation, new situation to the organization? For our part, it's one of our biggest initiatives during these years.
Very clear. Rosa Maria, thanks. Celia, what about Medictro?
Okay, so from my side, what I can bring a little bit to the discussion is I think that nowadays the patient, how the patient behaves with health has changed a lot in the recent years, especially with COVID. I think that all of you have experienced that you expect something different when you come to have a disease or the way you're managed. Also, I think that we are, and I think Christian also mentioned, the path of the patient journey is very different from what it used to be. And what Medictor, what we're here to do, and the mission of our company basically is, I think that when a patient does have symptoms, maybe 5 years or 10 years from now, they will go directly to the doctor and ask, I have this, I have that. But I think this has changed now. We will Google or we will ask somebody, and we will start doing a little bit of research before thinking what to do, no? And basically what my company does is we give them a tool or a solution that is able to give you a little bit of pre-diagnosis of information. So these symptoms that I am feeling, that I'm not feeling well, what should I do? Where should I address? And do it quickly and do it in the best manner, no? And when we talk about challenges in pharma, I think that sometimes, and I would love to hear your opinion, we face that some patients take too long to get to the doctor or too long to get to a treatment. So what happens when you have a patient that takes 5 years to go to a treatment, that they don't know where to address, or they're facing many challenges? So I would think, and I would say that my company, or what our mission when we work with pharma, is how do you make that path smaller, that path shorter, and you're able to drive these patients to health, and to better outcomes, no? So I would say that this is more or less what we do.
Excellent, Celia. Thank you very much. Philippe, what is your perspective?
Yeah, so it's interesting that what I hear is especially the physical world, how to digitalize that, not only from what we do in a procedural or documentation type of way, but you also with visits to the doctor, and so I think it's all very much aligned with everything that we're discussing here. What we're trying to do at SciLife, I mean, digitalization is the topic of the day. I talked to some companies here today that maintain their quality system on paper because they think that it's probably too expensive or too costly to do it in a tool, which might not be true anymore because these costs have really gone down. So what we're trying to do, besides helping digitalize the quality events or quality actions that are required under regulation, is to take it a step further, because digitalization is not just do something in the real physical world digitalized, but it's really, there needs to be some additional benefits to it. Which are these tangible benefits, right? So what we're trying to do with a quality system is, as opposed to just see it as a necessary evil to pass regulation and audits and things like that, is to really, through digitalization, have it or convert it into a key competitive advantage. Your quality system should be helping you to create better products, provide better services, and become a better company to be able to be more competitive in a very competitive life sciences sector. So that's what we try to do with the smart quality platform that we're implementing with our customers.
Philip, very good summary. Okay, so another point, obviously we are all trying to make changes and to push further digital health, but there are a lot of challenges probably, and I'm interested to know which are the challenges you are facing. And I think it's very interesting because we have 2 corporates and 2 startups, so probably the approach will be different. So Xavier, what are the challenges you are facing in this transformation, digital transformation process?
Okay. Well,
Probably you have a lot, so some of
yeah,
them will be fine.
a lot. So I will try to maybe remark 2. And one is maybe internal, one other is external. No? So one challenge I think we have, and probably a lot of others also have, is that, I mean, we are looking to have something that is really impacting the business, no? That really adds value to the business and to the patients. So we are looking on avoiding this kind of fireworks projects, no? So things that really you try, you experiment, you see if it works or not, and then if it works, you scale it inside the company, no? So in that sense, we took an approach saying, okay, we want to have this in an inclusive way. So we have this embedded into the company. So we want on all these initiatives to have people of the day-to-day business to be part of these initiatives, no? And this is the pro, no? That, I mean, there are people that knows the day-to-day and knows what can be done and how difficult it would be to scale then the solution if it works. It makes it easier to scale, but at the same time, it makes it harder at the first stages that you want to experiment, no? Because, I mean, you have to find the people, the right people, and they have time enough to also invest this time in these initiatives on top of their day-to-day. I mean, these are quite a challenge, how to organize and how to make this operating model in our company, in our case, to avoid these fireworks initiatives, no? The other one that I was mentioning that maybe is outside is that sometimes it's difficult for us to find the right partner, no? So and I understand that sometimes it's also part of the learning and the experimentation journey, no? But I mean, you start to look at you have an idea and you start to look how can work on this idea, and you find partners that sometimes everybody can do everything, no? So I mean, you have to select, you have to try. Okay, in fact, this is not. So it's challenging sometimes to find the right partner. But again, I guess that is part of the learning journey. But also related with this is once you have this initiative, let's say, piloted and tested, and you see that it's working, and then you have to scale. Maybe the partner that we have been using for this experimentation is not able to help us on this escalation mode, let's say, or phase, no? So this is and related with this summit, no? We are having sometimes difficulties to find the right partner in the right stage of the initiative, no?
Yes, very good points. Real impact on the business, difficult to find the right partner, and also difficult sometimes, I understand, to go from pilot to scale, as you were saying, no? Due to partner or whatever. And I probably, I have been talking with some people in the audience, and they explained that we have a lot of pilots, but then the challenge is how we scale it and how we make business impact. Did you wanted to say something?
I wanted to go a little bit further, yeah, from the other perspective, and I wanted also to complement. Sometimes the problem cannot be only solved for one partner. So I think that from our side, and from the collaboration with Pharma, and I wanted to have your opinion as well, is that sometimes the problem it goes with, and you need different partners for the same problem, and you do have to manage with many integrations with different companies, with different timings. And from our side, sometimes we have partners that wants us to do A to Z, or partners that are you're really going on to what you really can provide. So I think that from this learning that we need to work, and when startups are meeting Pharma, is to really understand to which extent you're covering the need, and what is the scope, and how do you bring also teamwork with maybe other startups to find a solution for you.
Yeah, I also, just to comment on that, if I may. I don't think I can. Yeah, maybe? Yeah, all right. So what we notice, we have, for example, Novartis as a customer that uses one part of our solution. And here what we notice is that they have selected us as a partner, but to be able to scale this to thousands of users, we have to work with other partners that we were not aware of when doing the pilot, right? One thing is doing the pilot, as you mentioned, the pilot goes well, everything is great, the startup can deliver what the big pharma needs, but then the scaling part is a completely different story. So how soon are you going to investigate or create a project around the pilot so to have everybody on the same page to know how we scale this? Is that at the end of the pilot or before you start the pilot? So maybe that might be interesting to...
In our learnings, something that we did with several pilots in the phase of the pilot, it's to communicate very well to the current team and the future team. Because if the escalating team is not involved with the pilot team, we will miss the opportunity later to understand the nuance of the projects and the insights and all the learnings. It's important. Sometimes we didn't invest enough time to communicate the outcomes of the pilots. But for my understanding of taking in consideration our experience, invest this time, but also involve these people firstly.
It's a cost problem, right? How much time are you willing to invest from all the partners for the scaling part if you're doing a pilot to see if the solution in principle is going to work or not, right? So it's a trade-off.
It's balance.
Yeah.
Okay, other challenges you want to share with the audience?
To share, in fact, to improve the patient life and to help to generate a healthcare system sustainable, it's per se a big challenge, no? To be honest. With this proposal, one of our biggest challenges is about a regulatory framework. It's very crucial, this part, not only because sometimes can be a barrier, but also sometimes can be a solution for us. But also the main challenge for us is, for one hand, we need to shape the future in this regulatory framework, because it's not prepared. As you can see, the majority of the innovations trace behind the regulatory framework trace behind innovation. As this is the situation that we have, not only in this country, in other countries too, how you motivate your team for one side goes, pilot, scale, in this framework that is not fully shaped for your purpose, because you are shaping the future, and for another hand, how you need to operate with these rules to generate a safe space, not only for you as a company, but also for your patients. That's crucial for us. Yeah.
I fully agree with what you said, and I feel it from our side, is when we have breakthrough solutions, for example, I tend to understand that, and this is a barrier, the regulatory barrier, and we experience it. We think our challenge is that the time to adopt of adoption of these technologies, of these solutions, is longer than we would like. I don't know if you experienced it as well, but probably the sales time and the time you need to explain and the times you need to everything to fit is quite long in our when we are with customers.
Totally.
And maybe this is the regulatory hurdles that you're facing, and I think pharma and healthcare in general is quite regulated. So this is one of the reasons why and challenges why things tend to take so long.
Can be.
Yeah, we're in the quality space, right? So we are implementing a solution that is not only being used by a quality department. Everybody in the whole company needs access to the quality system and therefore to our platform. What we see is that in line with what you guys were mentioning, how do you convince the rest of the company to be participant of quality so that they don't see it just as a necessary evil, but really are intrinsically motivated to become part of quality? Because if so really instill a quality culture throughout the company, because if you can do that, then you don't have the quality department going behind people with a stick to say, hey, we need to be regulated, sign off on your action, sign off on your document, review the CAPA, etc. But you have everybody understanding quality and therefore active, proactive, taking responsibility, which makes the whole company better, which is quite a challenge for our customers to, one thing is the tool, but the other is the culture of the company to actually use the tool in the best way possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah. One point that is arising from the conversation is we have been talking a lot about technology, obviously, because the base of that is technology. But what about culture and people? Because I mean, sometimes we have phrases like digital transformation is not about technology, it's about people. Well, I don't know if it's about technology and people, but we talked a lot about technology. What about people? What about cultures? You mentioned something already, Rosa Maria, but how do you see yourself or your customers managing in a proper way culture in order to make sure that this transformation is adopted?
Well, it's not easy. It's something that, to be clear, it's something that needs time and needs a lot of effort and to have a clear plan. It's something that cannot be just an attachment in some projects. It's something that needs to be a purpose from the senior leadership and also for the rest of the organization in our case. Change culture is hard in all the organizations, but when you are moving people to a new direction, changing something, people start thinking, okay, what's about me? And when people start thinking about what's about me, the most important part of that is, okay, what's about you and what's about the society and the impact that we are creating in our environment, with our customer, with our patients. For me, the most important part of that, to contribute to generate a better culture behind the digital transformation, is be clear, explain the benefits of the project in order to move and follow up this transformation. Because if not, you can feel a little bit alone.
Yeah.
We feel this every release. we have a software as a service platform. Everybody uses the same application layer, even though there are vertically separations between customer data, obviously, but the application layer is exactly the same. So we do quarterly upgrades. And with now almost 200 customers over 22 countries, you see very clearly, not only on a person level, but on a company level, the companies that are much more open to change versus the people that any change in the application, anything is a very big issue for them, right? So, of course, it's a validated solution, so there is the whole GAM5 documentation, everything that needs to happen. So, of course, it requires some work at the customer side, but we help with that. But even then, we can categorize customers and say on a spectrum, open to change and very, very reluctant to change on the company level because they really don't like it. And that makes it, for us, a huge challenge to know how to balance that continuously with our upgrade. So.
Yeah, I think that I fully agree with what you said, that you really need to explain the project and what is the benefit for the company, for the patients as well, if you're doing something towards patients, and that makes a difference on the engagement. And sometimes finding that one person in the organization and is motivated, that really has, as you said, the accountability and the strength really to push the project, that can mean a world in the way the project is implemented. And I think that plays a lot of difference in when you say a country and another country. Maybe you have one person in your organization that is really someone that drives change, and it is someone to look up to. And for us, it's very easy because it helps a lot to drive this change and to implement and to work and to make this transformation. No? So I would say it's very people dependent, and how to find that person or that team really in the pharma company that really help us to engage.
To be honest, to set up a good accountability behind this project is key, because if not, maybe some partners as you feel a little bit lost, no, in this situation in a huge organization.
And the other way around, we found some partners that are really engaging, and it's very easy, and the project goes well, and it is because there's someone there really to drive project and that does believe in it. No?
It's our champion. Right?
Yeah, it's our champion.
Yeah, we call it the champion. Who's the champion? I mean,
I call it the hero sometimes.
The hero.
So for us, look for the champion.
Yeah, definitely.
I think at the end, now we're talking about innovation. And innovation, as you said, is not technology. Innovation is technology with people. And we have a lot of examples in the past that there was a big, nice technology that, until so many years later, it didn't come to the market, no? Because the people we were not ready, no? So I think, at the end, it's the people who makes the technology, or to use the technology to add this value, no? And what you just said, it's important to have the people, to identify the people. We call it we create digital teams, or artist champions with different focus. People with the role of being more ambassadors, people with the role of being more experiment more, people with the role of looking outside and see benchmark and seeing what is going on outside in the industry, and also people looking and working on the change management within the organization. So I think it's important to create this ecosystem. We are talking a lot of ecosystems, no? So to create this ecosystem internally and also externally with partners, no?
Yeah, that's. I just exactly want to take that word, which is ecosystem. We talked about, let's say, the internal ecosystem, but what about the external ecosystem? Because all those projects happen thanks to, let's say, partners and the ecosystem. So how do you manage ecosystem in your company? Yes, Xavier.
Okay. As we're trying to create, we have started many years ago with try to create this ecosystem, internal and external, and we have some initiatives trying to add more people to our ecosystem, no? Startup companies, big companies, in some cases some other organizations, schools, and trying to learn and to work together, because by combining all this expertise, I think is the way we can find opportunities, no? Sometimes we have an idea, but we don't know how to manage, but then you can find a partner in your ecosystem that can give you a clue or some idea to how to solve this issue, no? So again, for me, I think it's key. It's crucial for any company. At least for us, to create that ecosystem to take advantage, as we were talking before, no? Depending on the stage, you can need a company or a partner or another. Depending on the solution, maybe you need several partners working together to create the final solution that you need. But everyone can add a piece of that, no? So I think it's crucial.
Excellent. José María?
Well, generate a community behind of that. Maybe it's funny sometimes, because it's not just one community. There are a lot of communities inside the organization and outside the organization. In our case, we discovered during these years that we are a very innovative company, but it's not the only element to be innovative. Why? Because opening the innovation to the organization, being in contact with startups, universities, innovation units in the hospital is crucial to understand the whole environment that we are operating. It's a part of our innovation model. How we are working with this model? Well, we have different communities. One of the biggest communities inside the organization is our e-health community. And one of the things that we discovered last year is the number of people in the organization that is working with this topic. At the beginning we thought, okay, maybe just a few people are working with this idea. Well, at the end we discovered that more than 50 people are working in e-health. When we discovered this learning, we thought, okay, we need to move ahead in another direction to define the scope of our project, because we have several challenges in the next years. Boehringer is developing a digital therapeutic solution for the mental health patients area, and this is so crucial for the society, for this kind of patients. We need to be ready inside in the organization with the collaboration with outside innovation in order to be able to bring this to the healthcare system.
Excellent. Celia, do you want to add something on that?
Yeah, from our side, I would say we're part of an ecosystem, which is Barcelona Health Hub. And this is something that we live, and I think is one of the examples that an ecosystem is very useful, because here you get to talk to other startups that have the same, they face the same challenges that we do. We have pharma companies, we have hospitals, we have administration people, and I think that when we do really want to transform the way we drive healthcare, or the way we want to solve a certain problem, or the way we want to drive patients' welfare, you need to have all the stakeholders that are part of the solving the problem, or part of on that innovation. So the better you are aligned, the better you're able to have a network in order to contact them, in order to share these problems, and in order to solve them, the better it will be for everybody, because you are addressing the people's needs. It's that you're not guessing for them; they're part of the solution. So I really appreciate that side. And also from our experience, we have seen that also from pharma companies, which we are very motivated by that. You do these open innovations now, in which you openly state, I have this problem, or I want to solve this, and you welcome different startups to be that part of the innovation. And for us, it's very helpful, because this is a quick way to engage with you and to be able to participate and to be part of the solution. So I would say that these two ecosystems for us are working quite well, and we're very, very happy, yeah.
Yeah, so when I think about ecosystems, a few things come to mind. The first one is that for us, it was instrumental to have a partner behind us, which is basically the company of two of my co-founders. That is a consultancy firm with now 500 consultants that were helping us as a startup to get a foot in the door in a life sciences companies that are completely risk averse. How are you going to sell your solution to a life sciences company about regulation documentation when they don't know you, when you were born yesterday, right? So, and you just have a proof of concept. So we went to the market very, very soon, and having that driver behind us was key. Otherwise, it would have been very, very hard as just a software company to put something in the market which is from scratch. So that's the first ecosystem of partnerships that we find very, very important. So we tried to somehow get this success with other partners also in other regions. Secondly, as a startup, the ecosystem that you first start to create is with you and your customers. We try to leverage on that by participating in their events. They participate in our events. We do webinars with them every month. We create case studies. We help each other to use our broadcast or marketing broadcast that we are doing to position them in the market and vice versa. So the customers themselves are very important. And lastly, of course, in initiatives like Barcelona Health Hub, and it's the first time that we're here and we're already seeing synergies and possibilities and opportunities. And the idea is to do that also in other countries, right? Every country has probably life sciences hubs or other types of initiatives where it's very, very relevant to be there, talk to people, create these synergies and opportunities together. For us, I was discussing it with the team, it's like an immersion in the market, real life, right? Otherwise, you're sitting behind your computer in all these calls, talking to people one-on-one. But here you're finally again with a lot of people together, where you can just have so many more conversations and really have a feel of what's happening in the sector in that region. I think it's you go back energized, right, with ideas to do more, and very, very positive.
Definitely, ecosystem is a crucial part of any digital strategy or digital health strategy. And it's good to know and to confirm it, since we are here at the Barcelona Health Hub, which is, I think, very relevant ecosystem in that area. Let's move to the final. The numbers are red already. Okay, we still have 5 minutes. Anyway, so let's talk about the future. How do you see digital health evolving? So what do you think are going to be next steps that we are going to see on the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years, right? We have been talking a lot about technologies at the beginning, VR, AR. The market seems to started to grow, especially in some areas. So artificial intelligence applied to diagnosis is clearly one area. Telemedicine is another. How do you see the future?
In our case, digital technologies is treatment is one of our the key elements that we see in the future, because beyond the pill, there are another treatments that are necessary for some patients. We, as a pharma, we cannot be outside of this need for our patients. I think that will be a revolution in the system in order to be able to have another kind of approach of the health of the patients. No? For sure, I think that helps a lot in the future.
Thank you, Rosa. Any other perspective?
What I'm thinking about is that, I don't know if Pharma agrees with me, but for example, paper is not going away in the next decade yet, right? So it will be a continuous effort in digitalizing paper processes to fully become paperless, which is an ongoing effort, which will require quite some change, especially in the manufacturing, to accomplish that. So yeah, I think the future is working towards it, but it requires time, so for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think in my opinion, as I said, see digital as support of innovation. No? So I think at the end, what will help is to, again, help our company to innovate, so we are able to get better treatments, new treatments. I mean, not only sometimes product, also services to support these treatments. So again, for us, digital should be innovation and help the company to innovate. So at the end, if we are here to improve people's health, no? So use digital to make us improve people's health in a real way, no?
It's more a wish. What I would love to see in the future, it is more a more proactive type of care for patients. So not I'm sick, let's go to the treatment. No, let's see all what we can do before. There's fantastic companies here, and that can really make that change. Also from my side, well-being would be a great part of patients in the future, and that needs to be also part of the treatment. And then personalized medicine, which is, I think, is the next also step for the future. So basically, those three would be my wish for the future to come, near future to come. Yeah.
Excellent wish, Celia. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So time is over nearly. So thank you very much, Javier, Rosa Maria, Celia, and Philip, for sharing your thoughts about challenges in pharma and in digital health especially. It was a great pleasure to have you today, this afternoon, on board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Xavier, and all of you. It was great listening to you. Great